Germany, latest victim of phony gold bar scam by Pat Shannon. Before I read this article, there are some things I think you should know. Some crooks have made off with a lot of investors' dough. Many who own gold have been taken for a ride by those who faked gold bars by putting tungsten inside. Buyers who trusted the sellers enjoyed life's fun and bliss, and now those same buyers are asking, who could have done this? The shadow government cheats us everywhere, from debasing the currency to the voting booth, but cui bono, who benefits, is the question that often leads you to the truth. If you're not blinded by faith in government, then you can easily see what is clear to all conspiracy theorists like me. While most optimists are looking up at the bluest of all skies, some of us are wise and understand the motivation of the monetary prize. We are aware of the things that the corrupt and evil government has done, and in the case of 9/11, Building 7 is the proverbial smoking gun. You must understand how they pulled off this felonious fake gold caper. When they sold, they didn't have the gold, so they gave investors a piece of paper. What they were told is that the precious metal is what the buyers hold. Investors traded dollars for what they thought was a reliable promise of gold. And after reading carefully the paper promises and all the details of the agreement terms, it was clear that the sellers were using the trusted name of the most prestigious and well-established firms. When you sell paper promises to artificially lower the price of gold, one day you have to honor all those pieces of paper that were sold. If the price of gold rises and you can't buy it back, you just might wind up in a criminal court. So they cooked up this plan to fill the centers of the gold bars they export. Tungsten was chosen because the densities either at room temperature or as a liquid are nearly the same. The differences appear when you put the metals to the flame. Gold melts at a Fahrenheit temperature of 1947.5 degrees. Tungsten is chilly at this temperature, on the other hand, and is still in deep freeze. You have to obtain a Fahrenheit temperature of 6,192 degrees, and this is troubling to the thief. There are other differences. Tungsten is far more brittle, and gold can be hammered to a thickness of 1 molecule, which makes it great for gold leaf. Gold became valuable partly because it's malleable and jewelry can be made, and a coin or a piece of it in your hand is quickly accepted in trade. If you accepted investors' money for future promises of gold, how do you buy back the precious metal if the price rises after it's been sold? You know that the public behaves like a flock of stupid sheep. If you can cause a panic, then sellers of the metal will sell cheap. So those who sold the pieces of paper have to improvise. There is a way, they realize, to sell a cheaper metal if it's disguised. Nobody would question the U.S. Treasury if no sign of tampering is evident, so gold is replaced by tungsten under Clinton at the Bureau of the Mint. When the discovery is finally made many years down the road, panic sets in and crooks can buy back the gold at cheaper prices as gold investors unload. The story is not over, and we just might see the culprits disgraced. For records of all gold purchases can now be traced. The number of suspects is limited to those who bought and sold gold in quantities that match. And what should we conclude if no purchase was made to match the Bureau of Mint batch? Back to the question, cui bono, who benefits, leaves only one to blame for this fraud in the gold bullion game. Those who kept the price of gold down by selling it short need to be arrested and escorted in chains to a federal court. And now I'll read the article. Amid international accusations that U.S. officials in the Clinton administration replaced gold in Fort Knox with phony, mostly tungsten bars that were later shipped to China and other places yet unknown, a German refinery has now discovered that it has received a bogus gold bar as well. The video proof was shown on the German television station ProSieben that ran the news story covering W.C. Heraeus in Hanau, Germany, the world's largest privately owned refinery. In the story, Wilfried Horner, head of the gold foundry, shows a 500-gram bar, 16.0755 troy ounces, received from an unidentified bank. The bar had the right physical dimensions to be an authentic gold bar, but one of the Heraeus employees suspected something. After the bar was cut in half, the TV audience could plainly see that the dark insides were tungsten, with only a coating of gold on the outside. While the story never aired on American TV, it is available on the internet. Last fall, Rob Kirby of Kirby Analytics in Toronto reported that China's central bank had discovered nearly 6,000 400-ounce gold-plated tungsten bars among those it had recently received from bonded warehouses. It was later learned that at least 4 counterfeit bars at other locations were found, that all had come from sources within the United States, including Fort Knox, according to the Chinese investigators. As suspicions grow about counterfeit bars among those held in bonded warehouses for delivery against either COMEX or London Bullion Market Association contracts or shares of exchange-traded funds, investors could panic. It is believed this could be the reason for the blackout on news coverage in the United States on this story, except for AFP. What is AFP? Several metals have similar densities to gold. However, using these metals to produce fake gold is unprofitable due to their high cost. There are 2 metals that are suitable from both a density and economic perspective for manufacturing fake gold: uranium and tungsten. These metals aren't without their negatives. Uranium can be radioactive. Tungsten is extremely brittle, the exact opposite of gold. Additionally, tungsten has the highest known melting point of non-alloyed metal at 3,422 degrees Celsius, 6,192 degrees Fahrenheit, making it difficult to work with. However, it appears that at least one high-temperature furnace is producing gilded tungsten products. That should be easily traceable to the U.S. Mint under the Clinton administration. Gilded steel is an unconvincing form of fake gold. A steel bar identical in size to the standard 400-ounce troy bars commonly used in bank-to-bank trades would weigh only 162.5 troy ounces, about 60% lighter, and would be easily identifiable as counterfeit. Gold's unmistakable density, along with its scarcity, durability, and other qualities, make it attractive to be used as money for our nation's founders. And its theft through Federal Reserve fakery over the past century has provoked these current problems of banker control via paper notes and credit over what was designed to be the actual money. Thus far, the commodity exchanges have disclaimed any responsibility for the purity of the gold bars they are delivering against contracts. However, as stories of gold-plated tungsten bars in bonded warehouses continue to appear, brokers say we can't expect the commodity exchanges to be forced, not legally but to meet competition, to modify their business practices to provide a guarantee of purity for any bars they deliver. To maximize safety, it is advisable to trade now only for smaller size coins and ingots, such as 1 ounce of gold content or less. 1/10 and 1/4 ounce pieces will be desirable and usable during a hyperinflation or a depression. Individuals should deal only with companies that have a lengthy track record and in-house staff expertise. Trustworthy dealers have told us that if you have purchased coins and ingots from unknown sources, you may want to have them checked out by an experienced independent third party, because even these can be counterfeited, but not nearly as likely. The respected dealers with decades of integrity in their past tell us that these problems have been created by big-time international swindlers, not to mention governments, counterfeiting multi-ounce bars, and should have no effect on the confidence of the individual investor who is exchanging his Federal Reserve note paper for gold coins. For all the reasons above, it would be advisable to take physical possession of the smaller sizes of gold coins and bars now and know that what you own is genuine, solid gold. You know, it seems like you could take that gold bar and bend it just a little bit, and if it's tungsten in size, it will snap because tungsten is brittle, and real gold is going to bend because it's so malleable. But the brittle tungsten will snap. I'm sure that the Federal Reserve did this, and the article says that they did it. And at the end, all those respected gold dealers with the long track records, they hinted that government did it. Now, would a sleazebag like Bill Clinton be involved in such a thing? He turned the White House into a whorehouse. This article was written March 29th, 2010. This video was recorded Friday, October 4th, 2013. Thanks for watching.